So hello everyone again. Hi. I was me and Polly and Luis. We thought about this workshop, trying to get deeper on what does it mean second chance education. What does it mean? What are our theoretical and methodological grounds for second chance education? So it was we had the idea that I could share some research I've been conducting the last years within my university, within an international research project that focus on young people in conflict with different institutions, with different social problems. And then we chose to research about young people in conflict with school and with education. So we try to find these young people in projects like School of Matosinhos, Second Chance School of Matosinhos, and another Second Chance School project in the north of Portugal. And we did this research, this ethnographic and qualitative long-term research, focusing on the life paths and the narratives of these young people that left education too early and then came back to education in second chance schools. And what I bring today is something that is already in a written paper that I can share the link with you. It's published in English and in Portuguese, and it's some the most important research findings about the experience of young people in second chance education projects. We interviewed and we followed every day in a daily basis 20 young people from 18 to 24, so a little bit older than the example before. All of them were in second chance education projects. Most of them had trouble in school, very unsuccessful school paths, trajectories, and half of them with problems also with the justice sector. So these young people, they have a lot of conflicts within their life paths. We focus on school, but we understood that around school, they find difficult life situations related also to their place of origin. They're living in poor neighborhoods, very stigmatized, marginalized places in the city. Also, they have conflicts with their peers linked to violence and juvenile delinquency. They have problems within families, alcoholism, mental illness problems, poverty, and also they have problems with the legal the justice system, and even they told us about problems in their most intimate relationships between boyfriend and girlfriend. Also, there are stories of violence and conflict. So these young people live in a very unequal social environment. They face structural disadvantages linked to poverty, to the place of origin, to gender also, and to culture, to our cultural identity. And this is all a focus of stigma. These young people feel a lot of times they feel they are stigmatized, they are marginalized because they are poor, because they are girls or boys, because they come from a stigmatized place in the city, or because they have a cultural identity that is not the normative one. Like, for example, we have a lot of young people that are from Roma groups, and they also face a lot of stigmatization in Portugal also. So focusing on school, how could we characterize this is all based on what young people told us, their life stories, their narratives about their experience, their relationship with school. It's sometimes they start in the very different points. These young people talk about a mutual distrust. So they feel they are very distant from school culture. Their own culture is very different from school culture. So there's a mutual distrust. They expect the least from a school, and school expects the least from them. So for them, school is a place of failure. And they are held responsible. School makes them feel they are responsible for their own failure. So school doesn't take responsibility for their failure. So young people leave school and they say, school is not for me. I'm not able to be successful in school. So this leads to conflicts, and this conflict many times it's violence in school. This means violence. This means truancy. So they give up from school. Sometimes they really leave school or are invited to leave school, and this is very common in the speeches in the narratives of these young people. They were invited to go somewhere else, not to be in mainstream school. But when they go to second chance education schools projects, how do they talk about second chance education? And this, I'm not going to read this all, but the main ideas, these are like some speeches from young people that we collected. And the main ideas they talk about is support, how their experience is very different from regular school because they feel supported. They feel no one looks to their past errors and mistakes. People look to their future possibilities. People talk, teachers say positive things about young people, and this is something new to most of them, having people say positive things about them. They feel people try to help them learn in different ways. They feel like they have a second mom and a second dad and a new kind of siblings and brothers and sisters. They talk about school as a second family, a second home. They have someone to talk to and to listen to. And this makes, like in this this makes them sometimes feel a new kind of responsibility for being in school, helping in school, being more active, more engaged in school. And this makes them very proud of themselves. So, main characteristics of second chance education projects through the words of young people. So they feel welcomed, they feel there's openness, and they feel respected for who they are and not what they should be, or who they really are. They feel listened, they feel support, and they feel cared of. They feel this is new, this is an informal and joyful climate in school. So they feel this is different for them. They can be joyful, they can make jokes, they can feel free to express themselves like they want. They feel they can negotiate the rules with the school. They can take, they can, there's adaptation to their own rhythms and needs. They feel they are appreciated for their qualities and their skills. And there's the focus is on the future, not on the past. This is very important. They feel people don't give up on them. People persist on helping them and supporting them, even if they disappear for months, even if they do wrong things and commit mistakes. And also they have the opportunity to experiment new things and take decisions about their own choice, paths, and futures. So this is the things young people say that are different and that make them have a positive experience in school, which is something new in most of their paths. So what are the changes they feel they have for being part of a second chance project? What are the things they feel they become different because they join the program. They feel more self-confident and they like themselves better. They rise their self-esteem. They become able to set long-term goals for their lives. They recognize that their behavior and their attitudes become more adjust to social expectations. They feel they develop new skills and they develop a new commitment to school, to work, and even to their families, to help their families, to meet their families' expectations. So in short, this makes them revalue education, revalue their own identity. They recast, they reconfigure their life trajectories and have more access to citizenship, because without formal education, they don't have access to a lot of opportunities, job opportunities, social support in institutions. So they gain new options because they join these projects. So to conclude, what are, and this is not already, this is our analysis, not the young people, but this is our conclusion. So second chance education projects are a holistic socio-educational response to specific needs of vulnerable young people. And there are three main characteristics that make this kind of project successful. So the opportunity for young people to have a fresh start. So they enter in a new institution that gives them a fresh start that's not defined by their past mistakes and makes them have hope again in this institution. And they feel respected, appreciated. They feel there's an individual response to their needs and not a massified education system. They feel they are trusted, they have choices, they can be responsible, and they can achieve personal goals. Another important feature of second chance education is this emotional work. So this is not only an educational and a teaching work, it's a work that's based on emotions. So affection, being listened to, being supportive, passing positive expectations, make them believe in themselves. And finally, the idea of community-based. So these projects are successful because they come from a network-based intervention that gives young people a multi-level response, connecting education with justice, health, social protection, social security. So different needs are addressed in the same setting, and young people have different experiences also in the community because they go to different activities in the community. So if we could summarize in three important words, we could talk about participation, hospitality, and community as like three pillars of second chance education projects. Young people can participate in school, they feel welcomed in school, and school is not closed, it's open and linked to the community surrounding them. The School of Matosinhos has an important contribution to school dropout reduction, and consequently this helps young people to invert, to avoid social exclusion paths, because they have more stability in their lives in family dimension, professional dimension, and emotional dimension. Again, the idea of strengthening self-esteem and improvement of quality relationships with peers, family, and community is also an impact of second chance education school in Matosinhos. Young people also improve their learning processes, and they enhance their willingness to go further in studies and in schools. Many young people that grow through the project in Matosinhos later go to other qualification paths or to find jobs. Also fragilities. It's also good not to talk always about the good things. What are the fragilities? And this may be important for our discussion also for today and tomorrow. What are the limitations or the fragilities of the School of Matosinhos? Of course, the limitation of resources, economic resources, that bring strong uncertainty about the staff, the ability to retain staff year after year. And also very important, something that School of Matosinhos is working on is an efficient data collection and management system that is important to keep track on the impacts of their intervention. So, success factors. What's making this project work? What are the main features that make this project work? So it's pedagogical approach that's based on arts, on vocational and practical learning, on participatory methods are key factors in pedagogical approach. The staff quality and diversity that work in a multidisciplinary team, not only of teachers, but also psychologists, social workers, social educators, artists. The school climate, this feeling of a second home, where young people feel safe and respected and supported. Also, this holistic approach that works also in the emotional and psychological level, in the social level, also in the material support, giving young people access to basic needs. This participation in local, national, and international events and networks that opens their horizons and gives them new perspectives on learning also. And the community networks that support all the activities and make it possible to give a multi-level support. And also internship opportunities. Young people from this school talk about this. It's very important for them to have internship experiences in local companies and organizations. So this is a brief summary of some research we conducted in Portugal